The Rustiest Catch is where I'm meant to be.
Welcome to Rustiest Catch.
This episode of Rustiest Catch might be a little shorter than usual due to my camera failing and the footage becoming corrupted. I lost a lot of video showing some of my finds, so I'll be sharing a mix of still photos and some video I recorded on my phone afterward. In this episode, I set out to Camelan Park in Post Falls, Idaho, planning a straightforward fishing lure hunting expedition with my new Brute Magnetics 360 magnet. I wasn't planning anything crazy, no complicated history, just a relaxing day of hunting lures. But as usual, history seems to follow me around for some reason, and today was no exception. The first throw and catch of the day should have been a sign of how things would go. Actually, a literal sign.
The heck, someone must have thrown another one in there.
My magnet locked onto something heavy, and up came a very large sign. It seems some hoodlum thought it would be funny to throw this into the river, but at least I retrieved it and got it returned. Little did I know, a fish had made this hollow pole his home. As I pulled the sign up onto the dock, the fish slipped down to the bottom. When I walked away, he fell out. This little fish blended in perfectly with the plants that had come up and fallen onto the dock. Oblivious, I had no idea there was a fish flopping around behind me. I'm pretty sure he was cursing me out and trying to push me off the dock. At one point, I noticed some stray plants on the dock, and not wanting to leave it a mess, I kicked them back into the water. This is when I saw a fish go flying through the air and land in the water and swim off in a hurry. I could swear he was flipping me the fin as he made his getaway. Sorry, little guy, but all's well that ends well. Next, I pulled up a few odds and ends. A fairly new screwdriver, a large bolt, a golden chain, a little lure that had gotten caught in some seaweed, and then there was this. It was a knife. How do you like that? Yeah, my best movie voice. I've always wanted an excuse to do that. Tossing out my Brute Magnetics 360 magnet again, I felt something click onto it right away. As I pulled, I could feel it slowly lift out of the mud. Whatever it was heavy.
Oh, this is heavy.
What on earth is this? It looked like some sort of old metal plate. But what is it? I laid it on the dock and took a look at it. My first thought it was some sort of camping grill, but it was way too heavy and small for that. And this is where my week-long investigation started. The rest of my evening didn't yield much, so I got this cast iron beast back to the Rustiest Catch cabin and took a look at it closer. This is where my keen investigative techniques and Sherlock Holmes sleuthing takes over. I grabbed a drill with a soft brush and started removing some of the rust. A number plate on the back became clearer, and I was able to take the number down. The next thing I did was take some photos and then go do a Google search for the number. But nothing came up. I then uploaded the images that I had taken into a reverse image search, and again, it didn't yield anything similar. Pulling out the big guns, I loaded the images into an AI program and asked it to identify it. It said it looked like cast iron and looked to be from some piece of machinery, but nothing conclusive. After 2 more days of internet sleuthing, I found a photo of some random stove parts. One of the pieces looked just like the one I had found. but there was no information as to what type of stove, how old. I made one last attempt to find someone who might know what this cast iron plate is from. I went to Facebook and joined several cast iron stove groups and posted the photos asking for help. A few hours later, I received a response from a man named Rex with Homestead Vintage Stoves. He said that he thought he knew what it was and he would get back to me after he double-checked at his shop. The next morning, he had sent me 2 photographs identifying what I had pulled out from the depths of the Spokane River. It was the center plate from a beautiful vintage coal and wood-burning cook stove from around 1910. I couldn't believe I was able to actually track this down, and I have to give a huge thanks to Rex of Homestead Vintage Stoves in Centralia, Washington. He really knows his stuff. What a beautiful stove. I can envision sitting in my log cabin cooking up some pancakes, bacon, and hot coffee on a cold winter's day. Finally, the mystery had been solved, but there were more questions left unanswered. Why was a stove liner from a 114-year-old vintage stove laying in the bottom of the Spokane River over 100 feet from the shoreline? The answer to this may never be known, but at least I was able to identify yet another mystery object, and I learned a lot along the way. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Rustiest Catch. I really enjoy making these videos and bringing you on these adventures with me. Now I'm on the hunt for a new camera so I can keep shooting these fun and educational videos for you all. I wonder what the chance of finding one in a lake would be. Now, go and make today great.